Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is day 109 of the Bible reading journey, the 365 days Bible reading challenge that we are taking. It's a commitment, it's a devotion, it is a consecration to read through the Bible in 365 days. Today is day 109 of the 365, and that is if you're watching me via the TikTok platform. If you're watching on YouTube, this may be captioned as episode 142 for you, and we are continuing with the story of David. The story of David has reached us to a point where he went in exile, or he went to exile. Do we say he went in exile or he went to exile? But he was exiled in the land of the Philistines, and when he was there, he started serving the king Achish. And when King Achish and the other kings and the other lords and the other princes of Philistines wanted to fight against Israel, David offered himself to go and fight with them. But the other princes did not trust David. They said, well, he might get into the field and then turn against us and kill us. And then they told him to go back. As he went back, remember, he had been given a land. He had been given land by Achish in a place called Ziklag. And up to when this portion is being written, we are told that that land belonged to the kings of Judah. And so when they went back to Ziklag, they find that their families have been attacked, their village has been attacked, their houses were burnt down, and their women have been taken alive, and their children have been taken alive. But then as they went, David asked God if he should pursue, and God tells him, pursue and you will overtake and you will recover all. So they started pursuing. They found the first camp, as the people were moving, some that were weak, they were left behind because, some old people, some sickly people, they would be left because walking with them, remember back then there were no cars. And horses and donkeys and camels were for the rich. So not everybody, so those that were weak, they would be seen as if they are dragging the company. They are reducing their speed. And so they would be left at a place, abandoned there. So they found the first camp abandoned there. And then David he had gone out with 600 men. So he left 200 men there that were also weak, and went with 400 men. And as they went, they found an Egyptian slave. And the slave had been left behind because he had fallen sick 3 days before that. So David has been pursuing this company of the people that, captured his village for 3 days. And they found this person that was so weak, he was left to die. He was left because he was sick. He was left without food. He had not eaten for 3 days and 3 nights. So they first feed him, and then they tell him to take him to the people that had captured the village of Ziklag. And the man tells them to swear fast that they will neither kill him nor give him to his master, because his master will kill him also. And David, let's now read on and hear what goes on. We have read 1 Samuel Today we are reading 1 Samuel 28, 29, 30, 31, and Psalm number 18. We have already read in the first and the second part, we have read 1 Samuel 28, 29, and now we have also read 1 Samuel 30 up to verse 15. Now we are continuing from verse 16. And the Bible says, And when he had brought him down, behold, they were spread abroad upon all the earth, eating and drinking and dancing because of all the great spoil that they had taken out of the land of the Philistines and out of the land of Judah. And David smote them from the twilight even unto the evening of the next day, and there escaped not a man of them, save 400 young men which rode upon camels that fled. And David recovered all that the Amalekites had carried away, and David rescued his 2 wives. Verse 19 says, And there was nothing lacking to them, neither small nor great, neither sons nor daughters, neither spoil nor anything that they had taken to them them. David recovered all. Verse 20, the Bible says, and David took all the flocks and the herds which they drave before those other cattle, and said, this is David's spoil. Verse 21, and David came to the 200 men which were so faint that they could not follow David, whom they had made also to abide at the brook Besor, and they went forth to meet David and to meet the people that were with him. And when David came near to the people, he saluted them. Then answered all the wicked men, the men of Belial, of those that went with David, and said, because they went not with us, we will not give them out of the spoil that we have recovered, save to every man his wife and his children, that they may lead them away and depart. Verse 23, and David said, ye shall not do so, my brethren, with that which the Lord hath given us, who had preserved us and delivered the company that came against us into our hand. Verse 24, for who will hearken unto you in this matter? But as his part is that goeth down to the battle, so shall his part be that tarrieth by the staff. They shall part alike. So the men that went with David to battle, when they were coming back after they had, defeated the camp of the Amalekites and destroyed all of them, we are told that only how many? We are told that only a few, like 400 men that fled. 400 young men that fled on camels. They rode on camels and ran off. Only those men were able to run away from David. Everybody else was killed. Everybody else was, destroyed. And so when they were returning, they started saying, we will not share with them that were so faint, them that were so weak to go with us in battle. Remember, there's a company of about 200 men that were left behind that could not go over the brook that is called Besor. So they were left behind. And so the men that went with David over the brook, they started saying, we will not give them anything. The only thing we will give them is their wives, their daughters, and their sons or their children. They will give them only that. Then the rest will be for us and us alone. But David tells them, no, we cannot do that. Everything is to be shared equally, as if everybody went for war. Now, verse 25, the Bible says, and it was so from that day that he made it a statute and an ordinance for Israel unto this day. So that became now a statute that David instituted, that the person that goes to battle and the person that does not go to battle, they all, share the same spoil. Verse 26, the Bible says, and when David came to Ziklag, he sent of the spoil unto the elders of Judah, even to his friends, saying, behold, a present for you of the spoil of the enemies of the Lord, to them which were in Bethel, and to them which were in the south, in South Ramoth, and to them which were in Jatir, and to them which were in Aroel, and to them which were in Ziphmoth, and to them which were in Eshtemoa, and to them which were in Rakal, and to them which were in the cities of the Jerahmeelites, and to them which were in the cities of the Canaanites. Verse 30, and to them which were in Hormah, and to them which were in Chorashan, and to them which were in Atach. Verse 31, which is the last verse of 1 Samuel 30, says, and to them which were in Hebron, and to all the places where David himself and his men were wont to hound. So David shared what they had captured with everybody in Judah, even with the elders of Judah, and that was quite about it. I want us to put a pause at this point. When we come back, we'll come back for part 4 of the reading, so that we will read 1 Samuel 31, finish the book of Samuel, and then go into Psalm number 18 and finish it. Okay? So we put a pause at this point, come back and finish the book of Samuel, and then roll over into the book of Psalm number 18 and read the Psalm number 18. God bless you.